that real shit, that real shit, that real shit, that real shit, that real
yes, that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit, sports talk, that real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real
yes,
shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit, sports talk.
What up, y'all? Coach Smith, aka Mr. Get You Right up in this motherfucker, man. I want to welcome everybody to the 23rd episode of That Real Shit Sports Talk. Coming to you live from San Diego, California, baby. Today is New Year's Eve, 2019. We a day away from 2020, baby. And I appreciate you for tuning in to me. Let's get right into today. The college football playoff semifinal went exactly like I thought it would. LSU scraped Oklahoma. Now, I will say, I didn't think LSU would win in as convincing fashion as they did. They beat that ass. I knew Oklahoma was trash, but I didn't think the difference between them two teams was that much. Oklahoma looked like a JV squad out there. They looked like the scout team out there. They didn't even really put up a big fight against LSU. So that shit was crazy to me. Joe Burrow looked like Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Like I said, I called it earlier in the year. He's that dude. And they didn't even have Hilaire, their starting running back. So watch out for LSU. Now, that Clemson-Ohio State game, that was a damn good game, man. Damn good game. But I've noticed in these big games, except for last year's national championship, which they pretty much dominated, but the year prior and in a lot of their big games, Clemson, they like to let you bust your nut in the first half. They allow you to make a few plays. I don't know if they allow you, but you know, teams make big plays against them in the first half and get a lot of confidence and start over celebrating. Clemson just sits back and cool, calm, and collected and lets you over celebrate in these games. And I feel like that's what Ohio State did. Ohio State made a few big plays in the first half, busted they nut too early, and then second half, Clemson came storming back. So again, they're the defending champs. You got to watch out for them. Going into the final was still about a week and a half away. I'm not betting on this game. I'm not putting no money on this game because it's a toss-up. I said in my last episode, if anybody can beat LSU, it's Clemson because they match LSU's talent, if not supersede LSU's talent, especially on defense. Man, I don't even know his name, but number 11, Clemson safety, that boy is nasty. He is a beast, homie. And then Trevor Lawrence, he showed up. You know, Joe Burrow might be the first pick this year for the NFL, but Trevor Lawrence will probably be the first pick next year once he comes out. So I'm not gonna put no money on it, but I gotta ride with LSU just because I've been riding with Joe Burrow all season. I think the spread is LSU -3, so I think it'll be closer than that. I think LSU will win in a come from behind victory. I think Clemson will get out in front of them early because they've been in this situation. They're familiar with this situation. They're comfortable in title games. But I do think LSU will pull the win out and come from behind fashion. So I think this will be another Texas USC game. It's going to be a classic, guys. We're not going to see a blowout here. We're not going to see two teams that are unevenly matched. These teams can go blow for blow, play for play. And I can't wait to watch this shit because it's going to be a great game. Unfortunately, you know, the college football season is coming to an end. It's always a disappointing and depressing time of year for me. Football as a whole is coming to an end, but it's been a great college football season. Obviously, like I've continued to reiterate, I called Joe Burrow. I seen Joe Burrow's greatness in October and told y'all about him. So hopefully y'all are starting to become a believer of my sports knowledge. But let's get into the NFL. The NFL season, regular season is over. The playoff matchups have already been determined, at least the wild card matchups. Starting with, let me pull this up. First game on January 4th, Saturday, is Buffalo and Houston. The Patriots fucked around and lost, so they got to play wild card weekend. Patriots play the Titans, and then Sunday, Minnesota plays New Orleans, and Seattle plays the Eagles. Now, before I get into that, I want to get into my preseason division champion picks. Just to highlight the picks that I made before this season started. I did so. The Patriots won the AFC East. They won the AFC East. I picked them to win it. Baltimore won the AFC North. I picked the Steelers to win the North, but nobody saw Ben Roethlisberger being out for the whole year. So shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to Mike Tomlin too, because he almost made the playoffs with his third string quarterback and really no superstars on offense. The AFC South, I picked the Titans to win the division. The Texans won, but the Tennessee Titans did make the playoffs, so I wasn't too far off. The AFC West, Kansas City won the West. I picked them to win it, so shout out to them. The NFC East, the Eagles won the East. I picked them to win. The Cowboys had their chances, but they proved themselves to be the Cowboys again. Jerry Jones gotta step over, man. He gotta step to the side and get a real GM and a real head coach that ain't gonna take no shit from him. He's got to take a step back, because this is a revolving door for the Cowboys, and they're not going to go nowhere as long as Jerry Jones remains the GM. The NFC North, Green Bay won. I picked Green Bay to win the NFC North. I told y'all Aaron Rodgers was going to have a bounce back year and lead the Packers to a better year this year. And that's what happened. So shout out to the Packers. NFC South, I picked the Saints to win. They won. Now, I do think the NFL owes the Saints a Super Bowl trip, so it'll be interesting to see how well or not that they do in the playoffs, how many phantom calls they get in the playoffs. But I called the Saints would win the South, and they won. And then the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers won the NFC West. Now, I picked the Super Bowl runner-up from last year to win the NFC West, excuse me. The Los Angeles Rams. They had a subpar year. I mean, it wasn't a bad year, but, you know, it's kind of expected coming off a Super Bowl loss that you don't make the playoffs again. I took a chance on them. They didn't come through for me, but shout out to the Niners, because the Niners look good. Now, I'm not going to make Super Bowl picks yet, but I do want to make picks for this wild card, starting with Buffalo and Houston. Buffalo's had a great year, a great defensive year. Josh Allen looks nice. He looks like he has a lot of promise moving into his career, or furthering his career. But I got to take the Texans at home. Deshaun Watson has had a great year. And if I'm picking head-to-head quarterbacks, I'm going to pick him because he's a winner. He won at Clemson, and he's proven himself to be a winner in the NFL. So I'm taking Houston. Now, the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots. This is a tough game to call, man. The Patriots fucked off this game, this Week 17 game against the Miami Dolphins, and that's why they're playing this weekend in the wild card. The Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, used to be a Patriot, so he knows everything that they're going to do. And the Titans have the NFL rushing champ, Derrick Henry, my bad. Tough game to call, but I'm taking New England at home in a close game, real close game. I think the Titans will be able to keep Tom Brady and that offense off the field, but, you know, Bill Belichick will have something for the Titans offense. And I think Brady will be able to muster up enough points for the Patriots to win. Now, scrolling down to the NFC, Minnesota plays New Orleans. Now, like I said, I think the NFL owes the Saints a Super Bowl, because that phantom non-PI call last year, if they would have called PI, the Saints would have been in the Super Bowl, and they probably would have beat the Patriots last year. So even though Minnesota has had a good year, I just don't trust Kirk Cousins. Minnesota's defense is off the chain, but I don't think they have an answer for Michael Thomas or Kamara, who's finally starting to get healthy. And I'll say it again, I think the NFL owes the Saints a trip to the Super Bowl. So I'm just going to say it. And then rounding out the wild card weekend, the Seahawks play the Eagles. Now, I picked the Eagles to win the NFC East, and they did. The Seahawks have had a way better year than I thought they would. And let's talk about Sunday's game against the Niners. what the fuck were they doing? What the fuck were they doing? They had a chance to win that game and got a delay of game penalty on the 1 yard line. That's why they lost the game. I mean, we can bicker about that non-PI call, but to me, that the Seattle Seahawks tight end initiated the contact. That's why they didn't call PI in the end zone, and then they fucked around and got a delay of game penalty on the 1 yard line. So you deserve to lose. But I do think the Seahawks will beat the Eagles. The Eagles haven't been clicking very well the past month, but they played in the weakest division in the NFL, I think, the NFC East. Nobody really wanted to win that division. So I'm going to take the Seahawks to get a road win. But it should be a very entertaining weekend of NFL games. And like I said, that college football final will be a great game. Now, hold on. I fucked around and forgot to address this. The Ohio State-Clemson game. There were two non-calls that people were up in arms about. The first one was the targeting call. Now, I've said this before. None of us like the rule, but the new rule is if you hit somebody in the head, if you hit a defenseless ball carrier in the head, or you hit somebody with the crown of your helmet, it is a penalty. It is targeting. We may not like the rule, but that's what the rule is. So I think that targeting penalty that got called on Ohio State safety was 100% legit. Again, you may not like the rules, you may not be aware of the rules, but that is the rule. So whether you like it or not, you can't dispute what the rule is. That was a good call. Kick his ass out. He hit Trevor Lawrence with the top of his head. He was looking at the ground when he hit Trevor Lawrence and hitting directly with the crown of his head. The incomplete pass, that was a fumble that Ohio State picked up, scoop and scored in the game. To my understanding, in order for it to be a catch, the receiver has to make a football move. We know that. Now, what is a football move? To me, the rules state, and this isn't even my opinion, the rules state a football move is an attempt to get upfield. The Clemson receiver made the catch with two hands. He never tucked it away. He never made the catch and tucked it. He had it in two hands. He got hit in the back, which made him take steps, and then the ball came out. He never once made an attempt to get upfield. So y'all are up in arms about the rules because you don't know and or understand the rules. Go online, read the rules, get some clarity on how these things work, because it'll save you some stress. Real shit. Y'all won't be online up in arms, emotional about this shit, because you'll be aware of the rules. But I'm gonna wrap today up on that note, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode, because I'm gonna hit y'all with some drama-filled shit that's sweeping the nation that I want everybody to be aware of. But thank you all for tuning in. That Real Shit Sports Talk. Catch y'all next time, man.